Hello guys, I'm up on the mountain above the CC today. I'm going to attempt an all-action intro into my base. I'm up here on the beautiful mountainside, and the CC is down on that plateau over there, and I'm over in the redwoods. So I'm going to try a flying arrival. I've gotten quite reasonably okay at this, so hopefully I won't face plant into something. As we're flying over, I'll sort of talk you through what I'm going to show you today. This is going to be a pretty small one. I'm going to talk broadly about kind of what my plans are and stuff. So let's get going. Fingers crossed we make this. So yeah, I've been doing this is your captain speaking, and cruising at an altitude of so I've been doing a bit of work on my base, bits and pieces. I've actually got a few things done that I haven't showed you yet. Obviously some of the guys on the server have seen it, but there's a few things I've kind of held back on showing yet. That pen down there is actually part of the CC, so you might just get a little sneaky preview of something. If you look into the trees, you might not be able to see it. So I built up in the trees. It's a work in progress at the moment. So I built a tree house up there. Yeah, you can't see it at the moment, but so this is a nice little aerial arrival of the base. It's a lot of mess at the moment down here below me. That's all just work in progress, and a lot of dinos that need to be tidied up. And I've got a bunch of things to show you, so they'll be coming soon in new episodes. So I've got the workshop to show you. I need to show you. I've got some work on I've got a ship house, a little boat house that I built a while ago back there, and obviously this new tree house. Yeah, we made it perfect. So if you can get just a little sneaky preview of how high it is, this is how I'm getting up there at the moment, and you can just about make it out in the tree up there. It's quite small. I've wanted to keep it quite discreet and to not take up too much of the tree. And what you can see I've done different. You can see the one I've used, the one I've built is the tree that's not moving. So I wanted to build high in the tree, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't want to use the tree platforms. I wanted to free build up there, and really in order to do that you need the tree to stop moving, like that one on the left is moving all around way too much, and then you just get this annoying thing where the tree's kind of moving through your base all the time. So it's barely noticeable actually. So at ground level you don't notice that there's a static tree up there, but so yeah, that is to come. I'm not showing this as just a teaser. I'm really happy with how it's coming along, and it's quite fun just having this as the way in and out. This is the only way in and out, other than flying up there. So, but that's not what I'm showing you today. I'm going to take you through. I'm actually going to take you through the base because I realise what I've done so far. Apologies for the massive dinos up here. I realise what I've done so far is shown you bits and haven't really taken you on a little bit of a walkthrough, so maybe you haven't seen kind of how these things connect. So we saw this at the start. This is the upper loading area, this is the lower loading area. I haven't shown you in there yet, that's the workshop, but we'll show you that in another episode. And that's the kind of lower gate area down there. So lower loading bay I showed you before, coming through, and that's where my Jenny is and stuff. I'm not sure if that one was feeding because it's making a lot of noise. There's my tower that I showed you before, down into the wall section. And that's the tower, access to the tower. I've got a little crafting area, little balcony here which I haven't done anything yet with, but I will do. Oh, actually you can see the mock-up that I made of that tower down there still, to show you in the last episode. A little kind of hidden access way, hidden door there. And in here is our little slug heaven. I don't think I've done anything to this since then. No, I don't think I have. And then I actually get lost myself a little bit here. So this is the way down into the tower, and there's a stairway down in the tower, or there's a set of stairs that just goes down here. This set of stairs takes you back round into the tower if you want to go that way, or overlooks this little hatching area, and I have one of these little plushies in here, little trike, kind of supposedly that he's just been hatched or something, or he's a juvenile. So this is my. There's not that much to this, but I built this kind of on the side of this hill again, continuing down. I wanted a little hatching area, and I haven't done an enormous amount of embellishment to this. This is pretty straightforward. So I have a place to store my eggs. So those are my my normal eggs, so not fertilised. Then I've got all my fertilised eggs in there. I've got my hatchery. These hatcheries are so massive, but I wanted to incorporate it somewhere. They have such a big sort of footprint that they take up a lot of space. So I've actually clipped it back into the hill a little bit. And I wanted it on a sort of, I don't know really why, but I wanted it sort of raised up. So clipped into the floor is some more of that scaffold pieces. I've clipped it into the floor just the right height to give me kind of this little raised platform for my mother dodo up there gathering in all the eggs. And then we have just to look like it's kind of in keeping. This is one of the shop pieces. I think this is the egg stall or something like that from the shop mod, eco shop mod. A little table which is supposed to be, I don't know. This is supposed to be like inoculations or something, I guess, that I did. That was the idea behind this. And this is kind of looking up the dino and then giving them their shots or whatever for their newly hatched dinos. And this is then my little breeding area. So this is for small stuff really. So I actually found these are my first featherlight tames. I had tragically had an amazing silver featherlight came flying past my base, and I hadn't ever seen any of them in the wild before, and it came flying right, but I don't know what it was doing. It was on, I think it was on flea or something. It came flying right past my base, and I followed it all the way into the woods. It was only a level 40, but I was so pleased to get it back here. And then just as I arrived, I found this one as well. So I tamed them both, brought them back here. As you can see, that these are the infants of the pair. But unfortunately, somehow a Palovia got inside my base, and the only place it got inside my base was right into this hatchery. So it killed the beautiful silver featherlight. Fortunately, this one survived, and actually I was lucky enough that I'd already collected an egg, and from that egg I got these two twins. So I shall treasure these two little twins. So yeah, this is my hatchery. Pretty simple stuff. It's just I've used the eco stable stuff for here. I think that is from the CKF, the flooring, and I've had to raise it up a bit so it doesn't clip through the stone foundation. The stone ceiling doesn't clip through. I've got a fridge over a cooker. Sorry, literally just put this in, so I haven't dressed it or anything. I've done anything to it. So this is going to be kind of for kibble. Probably not really for taming, because we're using the immersive tame, so this is pretty much just for giving the care to the infants. So when they want some random kibble, I can take the egg from the fridge, pull from the garden above, and make my kibble in the cooker, and it's ready to go for them. I also have an elevator here, so this is for when I want to move larger animals in here. I mean, it's not going to be much, but I'm probably not going to breed much more, to be honest. I'm going to breed the horses because I love the horses. Probably going to breed the gigantos because I like the monkeys, and I've got an idea for the monkeys in the trees. Not sure it's going to work, but so I'm going to breed those. So I'm just and I spent a lot of time actually on this elevator, getting it in exactly the right place, so I can bring the slightly larger dinos up into the taming pen, tame them up, and then obviously do as necessary, release them or cull them, as everybody in this server is doing, culling the baby dinos all the time. So yeah, there's not really an enormous amount else to show you at the moment. I've got a whole bunch of breeding going on. I've gone a bit crazy with the Ankies, just the colour variations. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this at the moment. This is one of the guys very kindly gave me, because I was having some problems with power in my base, gave me one of these steampunk generators, but it got damaged in an attack by Titan, and I think I've crashed the server trying to remove this, so I'm a little bit worried about how I'm actually going to get it out of here. I really don't want it anymore, and I don't actually need it. And the reason I don't want it is it's so big that it takes up a lot of my space, and I don't really like the effect. So I did originally attempt to hide it away, but I think it's so huge that it doesn't really work there. I could probably hide it away somewhere else, but so yeah, just in terms of plans for development. So immediate ideas I've got at the moment are, I've done this sort of scaffold side thing here. So this is supposed to be the kind of under wall part. I think this is going to be my brewery. So I think I'm going to find a way of getting beer barrels in here and hooked up. Obviously I've got the wall to do. I've obviously got, once I get to fly a stage, which I'm not quite at yet, we've got it set so you can't fly in this server until you're 95. Then I'll start building out the tree platforms. I don't really want everything swamped right on top of me, so I'm going to spread out a little bit into the trees, and probably just keep things fairly loose. That's going to stay outside the wall. I think I probably will build up the side of this hill, if I can get up there. And I may well, I'm thinking I probably, as one of Drake's, I don't quite know why that one's in camouflage, but I probably will extend round this edge of this hill. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't got an enormous amount of structures to build still. And the only other idea, obviously I've got a wall to do. I've got some quite cool ideas to using the wall, the rest of the wall. I'm not just going to repeat that tower. I'm sort of going to repeat that tower, but I'm not entirely going to repeat that tower. That'll make sense when you see it. So the only other thing that I'm thinking of doing, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do this yet or how I'm going to do this, is I need somewhere to put a bedroom, and I'm thinking I'm going to have something hanging down off of this. Again, I'm not going to use the cliff platform because I think it's too big for what I want. But I think I'm just going to have something slightly hanging off the edge of this, and some way of getting down. God, this is probably not a good way of showing you, but as you can see, the edges are quite sheer. So that's my plan, is to have it that it's just kind of hanging down off the edge of that. And then the only other immediate construction that I need to do, it's coming back around the side of the base, is something on this platform up here. So at the moment I'm using this platform just as kind of a landing area, and it's a little bit of a pain because of the way I did the kitchen. I actually really like the way I did the kitchen. I don't mind having it sort of that awkward to get to. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this space yet. The obvious things would be, well, my initial idea was that this was going to be my bedroom, but then I came across it, and then I came up with the idea of building on the side of that hill. So that just felt like it was more fun to me. This would be a really easy place to build. I mean, it's basically a square, and it is sitting on one of the other rocks. So I might just leave this as a landing pad. I'm also not entirely sure whether I'm going to keep this line up to the treehouse or not, or do something else. So yeah, big plans, guys. To be honest, I've got that's one of my problems in Ark is that I've always got so many ideas. I had some really cool ideas with the CC as well. I'd love to do in like a library or a sort of blueprints spot up there. And I was also talking to one of the guys. I don't even know if this is feasible, but like an adoption centre up there, but not have all the dinos up there. Have like sort of dossiers on each of them. So maybe have a picture of the dinos and then a book with their stats in, or a note with their stats in, or something that gives you just a bit of. I mean, it's just for fun, really. Just have a building project, because the CC, once everybody kind of starts to move away into their bases, becomes a bit of a redundant space and a bit of a dumping ground. And we all have so many good blueprints and items that everybody just kind of either does stuff like I've done, where you put in a donation box or you just leave outside. But it doesn't really help the guys that are either new or just having a central community space. So I'd like to do something that's a bit more of a community spot. And I was unlucky enough to kind of arrive a bit late to the CC, so I didn't actually do an initial build up there. So it'd be my excuse to go and show off some building up at the CC. So yeah, and I got this. One of the guys that helped got this griffin for me. Very thanks to Thalian. That was or Talian, and that was really cool. Just showed up with a griffin for me, and it's torturous because I love him and he's beautiful, but I can't fly him yet. I still have a few levels to go. So my bases, I mean, a lot of my bases just become, and will probably continue to be, it's just going to be fun with zip lines, in interesting novel ways to use them. So yeah, just a quick one, guys. Hope you saw some things that are interesting, and as I said, lots of new stuff to come. The immediate will be the workshop, and then the boathouse. Actually, a lot of the guys have seen the boathouse and like the boathouse, and then the treehouse. I think the treehouse is kind of close. I tend to fiddle with things, so I have got some cool plans in the regional, and those feather lights will be involved in that. I'm hoping that I can do a patrol around the tree. I thought it'd just be like look kind of cool to have the feather lights feeling like they're flying around the tree. Up there and lighting it up as they do. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, more to follow in a couple of days. Take care. Cheers. Bye.